Let's poke around the new tank, May. Yeah, we were right about the snow. It was a jolly snow. And here's May. There's a lot of people with opinions right now. But I'm curious to see what our new tank is going to be like. Because trailer-wise, she's kind of packing a new kitchen sink, Johanna style. So, let's get in. She's mountain as normal. You can see she's got her little icicle as the auto attack, so we don't have to worry about headshots in terms of being frozen and that being some sort of Jaina-like skill shot. Though we're already sitting on Blizzard, so hey, there's only so many abilities in the game, right? It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting hero. That was that snow going right there, periodic. Currently turned off and gives a buff. There's gonna be weather in this next patch. Wild stuff. Let's just start with the trait, which doesn't have anything passive on it. Cryo Freeze, cooldown 40 seconds. Become encased in ice for 3 seconds, gaining a rapidly decaying shield that absorbs damage. While active, the shield grants Unstoppable and restores 35% of May's maximum health.
Oh,
Unstoppable so that you can't be interrupted from it, because you're not invulnerable. It seems you are just gaining a shield and restoring your own health. So if we go and get beat up, it looks like you can just maybe be knocked out of it early? Does it end early? So we're healing. We're healing quite a bit there. Our little bar is going. Yeah, it looks like the bar is tied to the shield. So if the shield breaks, the Unstoppable breaks early. But a little bit of dodge business after maybe you make a nice engage with icing. Let's start there, since that'll be the engage. Well, man, we got Snowblind, Blizzard, and icing. All right, let's just do Q. Mana 35. Does this cost mana? No, that's free. Cool. A lesson learned from long ago. Throw a snowball that hits all enemies in an area. Enemies hit take damage, and are slowed by 35%, and are blound for 1.5. Okay, AoE. Pretty good range. A little bit of blind action going on there. Let's feel that cooldown a little bit, 10 seconds. So not a lot of time to get anything done, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty long range, and poke, just like our Johanna, when we have nothing to blind, it can be used for other sources. Blizzard. Cooldown 14 seconds. Oh, see, that shield there, that has nothing to do with May. That's everything to do with the snow accumulating. Each map, certain maps, are going to have snow or rain or thunder storms on them that are going to cause different effects. And right now it's currently snowing, so everyone, both sides, are getting a shield. Wild stuff. I see a lot of people already saying this is too Mario Party, but hey, we'll see what happens. New anomaly coming in. Blizzard. Command Snowball. That's your little robot that shows on your back here. There he is. Doing a little happy dance. Command Snowball. To create a blizzard at the target location for 2 seconds, enemies within the blizzard take 14 damage. Oh, that's not a lot. 0.25 seconds and are slowed by 7%, stacking up to 35%. The same slow as our Snowball there. Wait, Snowball? Snowblind, okay. Only one thing called Snowball. When the blizzard ends, enemies within the area take an additional 78 damage and are stunned for 1.25 seconds. Stunned, eh? So we're slowly building up to 35, and then you get a full 1.5 second stun. So slow. All right, I'm already feeling it. You got yourself a blizzard you want to cast, but they're only going to be slowed by 7% building up real quick, and then stunned. So it would make sense that we might want to slow them first, so they're at a full slow. When that fires up, have less of a chance to get out of the area in time.
Here goes nothing.
Interesting. And there's no worry about overlapping your slow. It looks like the slow lasts for longer. 2 seconds, 35% slow. Let's see that one more time. Here's the stun. No, wait. And then there's more slow after it. Interesting. maybe matching that 1.5 seconds of the blizzard.
Yes.
So it would be beneficial no matter what then to aim our slow Snowblind first, then throw out the blizzard with increased chance. But hey, we also have icing. Mana cost 70, 35. Okay, so pretty expensive. Slide quickly into target direction. When this effect ends, enemies near Mei are knocked back, taking damage, and are slowed by 80%, rapidly decaying over 1.5 seconds. Can be canceled during the slide. Oh, okay. Ooh, oh, so I can really cancel that quite early. So I've got a little bit of required wind up there. You can see with what 0.3 seconds that I'm stuck inside of it. It goes pretty far. 14 seconds though. And then we have a 80% slow but rapidly decaying. So that makes me think that you might be doing something more along the lines of. This is 1.5. Let's see how rapid. Goes pretty fast. 1.5 seconds in this last 1.5 seconds. So we're looking at an engage, maybe a knock. Oh, no, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. You know what I mean, right? You get up that early, and then as they might be about to walk out, you get them knocked into it. There we go. So yeah, like it's like a really complicated ETC isolate, but you might throw that out, keep them inside of it, imagining they're running away. So we could even think of it like this. Get that stun on the back end. That's wild. That seems so busy. Okay. Let's dig into talents then. Actually, before we do, there's an important question to answer. It is a tank hero, which I think is perfect given the amount of CC she has. But let's just see what it looks like in a lane clear situation here. So we got our lane, it's nice and collapsed, and we're gonna go boo and drop our abilities on it. Yeah, 14's not much. Do I do any damage by sliding between them? No, only the knockback part. So we're looking at a pretty extreme amount of mana to do any sort of lane clear effectively. Maybe it doesn't look like we have anything stacking on minions, which is good. All right. Here's with cooldowns. Just make a mess of the lane. And we have time for another snowball. And we're running out of juice, but we have an escape in icing, which is interesting. As we accelerate. And a knockback, too. So if we wanted to, we could be working on the back line here, kind of style, and be like, hey, back line, get frozen. And then bail and push back the other line. So that's a kind of big deal that you can go through targets, because you'll have both engage and disengage off this ability. As long as you're not doing little tiny ones, should be able to pull it off pretty easily. What isolation you want to make out of that? Isolation. Oh dear, the ice puns. Heavy pack. Increase the duration of Slowbind slow by 1.5 seconds, so 3 seconds slow. Wow, nice, okay. Seems pretty decent. Each time Blizzard damages an enemy hero, reduce the cooldown of Snowblind by 0.125. Yes, let's see what that feels like. Cooldown, hitting lots of people. So that's not absurd, and that's a pretty good number of heroes, being 4 in there. Okay. Casual level 1 talent. Ice Storm. Every third hit of Blizzard against enemy heroes deals an addition. Wow, it's Mephisto. But ISO. Blizzard's final stun damage is increased by 125% against all enemies. All enemies? Okay. Well, let's see that minion wave again. I'm not thinking this is going to be a thing, but it does say only heroes get the crit, but all enemies get the bonus damage. Thing we have to worry about. Tanks take over the solo lane. Things get messy. I mean, sort of, kind of, yeah. My concern is waning. And heat transfer. Basic attacks against stunned, rooted, or slowed enemies deal 33% more damage. Each time Mei stuns or slows an enemy hero, she heals. That sounds nice. Stuns or slowed, you're doing that all the time. This is a slow as well, so these are all slows. She gets a new Brax talent at level 1. His is a little bigger, to be fair. This is 33%. We're just losing some health here. Cancel that early. Jump out. Alright, so let's auto attack. A slowed enemy. Basic attacks against slowed and stunned. It's a very small window to get any health back. But if we're doing this... Oh, only my basic attack damage is increased. Each time I stun or slow an enemy hero, I gain health. So it's actually just tied to heroes and the act of doing the slow. The auto attack talent is a second feature. So I would get a heal from this. That's pretty good, though. That's a good amount of heal. I can't complain.
Take this.
Particularly if we're doing that sort of engage we came up with first, where we are working on that. And then while we're being poked by the back line, working on our front line here, isolation for our team. We're getting all that health to deal with this business up here. And we can still bail maybe much later in the fight. Let's advance.
Choose a talent.
Let's see some numbers,
Choose
since
a
these are all
talent.
getting healed based on numbers. Let's see some numbers. So for now, I think just healing is good. Healing seems good.
Choose a talent.
Slush Ball. Snowblind deals 15% increased damage, and structures hit are disabled for 3 seconds. Oh, wow. Okay, level 4 structure turn off. For 3 seconds. We were saying earlier, if you didn't have anything to blind. That's kind of hard to read. Doesn't really seem to be much of an effect. Telling us that they're turned off.
Sure.
But I guess if it's a pretty short duration. Wow, okay. Surprising, given all the problems with Sylvanas that have been expressed over the years.
Choose a talent.
Cold
Choose a
Front.
talent.
If Mei enters her own blizzard while icing is active, the cooldown of icing is reduced by 7 seconds and she gains 50 mana. 50 mana, that does not refund me, but that's a pretty good go. Enters her own blizzard while icing is active. Okay. So... Oh, we still have cooldowns on. Hang on.
On my way.
Do I have to end my icing inside of it? This is... Okay. Alright, first of all, let's do just like standing in it. Icing active, the cooldown of icing is reduced. Enters her own blizzard. So all I gotta do is enter it then. I don't have to hang out in it. All I have to do is pass through it. That's decently complicated. Not to perform, I'm just impressed that the team put something together like that. That seems like a very complicated interaction. I certainly wouldn't know how to program it. Let's end our... As long as we are in it at any time, we have that cooldown reduction. Interesting. Well, we originally identified the combo for isolation from a runaway target might be to put that out early and then knock them back into it as we go. So that makes perfect sense. More complicated in wording than it is actually in performance, since you might be doing it anyway. If you can isolate exactly how you're going to be
Choose a talent.
comboing your abilities
Choose
for the
a
rest of the
talent.
game. Reduce the cooldown of Cryo Freeze by 15 seconds. Mei gains 50 spell armor while Cryo Freeze is active and for 2 seconds after. That would take me down to
If
25.
you're sure.
50 spell armor. Yeah, so, you know, you're standing still. So you might be standing in a blizzard, a Jaina blizzard. You might be standing in some AoE effects. You'll be easier to hit by spells while inside of it. And having the reduced cooldown sounds really nice. Cold Front. Wow. Well, there's clearly a bit of a W build developing, but there's also, like, utility. Surprising stuff. Let us continue.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a
I'm
talent.
getting good at this.
Guess we'll just
Choose
kind of
a
go with the
talent.
engage ETC thing we're thinking right now. Induce hibernation. Blizzard reduces the damage dealt by enemy heroes inside of its area by 40%. Okay. When Blizzard ends, enemy heroes still within the area gain this effect for an additional 4 seconds. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're inside of the Blizzard, and they get reduced damage. They're dealing reduced damage. But when it explodes, and do we have the old drippies? Yep, there's the drippies. Little down arrows. For 4 seconds. Lots of these talents are like 13, 16. She's got some crazy talents early on in the game. So these guys would all be drippies, but if they stepped out of it, they would remove said drippies. But as for right now, they're just standing still, and they're going to take that 4 seconds. Wild.
Choose a talent.
我变强了。
Choose a talent.
Skating away. When icing ends, Mei and all nearby allied heroes gain 20% movement speed and 50 physical armor for 3 seconds. Oh, get everybody kill Zul'jin. 50 physical armor. Get him. Well, probably just like our speed medal, it won't be interacted
Yes.
with in the majority of games. At least the movement speed, people won't know they had it, really. But 50 armor is really good at level 7. Crazy. Alright, I promise I won't react stunned to everything, but this is a really nice pile
Choose
of
a talent.
stuff she can
Choose a
get. Some really
talent.
cool choices.
Choose a talent.
Backup battery. Activate to remove all roots and slows and regenerate 20% max health over 2 seconds. The cooldown of the ability is reduced by 10 each time Mei picks up a regen globe. Level 7 regen globe talent. But otherwise, we have like a mixture of Hand of Freedom and Laws of Hope and a regen globe thing.
Fascinating.
Oh, that's, I mean, and we generate 35% of our max health here. Not that we'd be soloing a boss or anything, I'm just curious to see. That's actually pretty fast over 2 seconds. So, you need to heal yourself, you need to move. Roots and slows. We can assume that you can't cast this during a root. Let's see if I can get the boss to give me a root,
I see.
just to see if icing works. Nope. Cool. So we could pop that and then we could dodge. But why spend our big 40-second cooldown when we can have a reduced cooldown based on regen globes for a backup battery? And instead of
Can we
spending our
just focus
cryo
on
freeze
the
in that very
science?
situation, we could make the choice to give me that root. Give me that root. Give me that root. He doesn't want to. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Let's see some level 10s.
Choose a talent.
好，
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
I have no idea.
Choose a talent.
These seem really situational. But like in a utility sort of way, not like in a enemy side kind of way. Avalanche. 65-second cooldown. After 0.5 seconds, roll a massive snowball that consumes enemies in its path. Enemy heroes only. At the end of its path, The snowball crumbles, releasing the consumed heroes, dealing damage, a good amount of damage, and stunning them for 0.5 seconds per hero. Per hero consumed. Very interesting. It makes a little snowman.
If you're
Wow,
sure.
that goes a long way. That goes a long. Can I miss? I can't miss. But it's pretty decent sized. Oh, it's a haymaker. It's a crazy haymaker. Because you could get to the other side of people and then just... That takes them a long ways. Granted, it goes a little less the further back you are, but, you know, if we're doing that very combo we've kind of been talking about here, that's a long time to be CC'd. Slow them, throw the blizzard on them, knock them back, get them isolated, throw them back. Holy moly.
I see.
And then, of course, we're looking at only the one person's done here. Got all three, and we'd be on 1.5 seconds. Wild. Are they going to let me Medivh this at 20? Like, change its direction? It's a handsome ability. It's a good-looking snowball. That's what snowballs look like before you give them lots of smacks on the side. For a snowman.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Ice Wall. 90-second cooldown. After a 0.75 second delay, create an impassable wall that traps enemy heroes hit for 1.5 seconds, or 2.5 seconds. When the wall expires, trapped heroes are slowed by 75%, decaying over 3 seconds. So a decaying
Time for the
slow,
future.
which go away pretty quick, but that's 25 a second. And it's a big range. And it's radial targeted.
冰墙升起来吧
Time stopped. Okay, so not stunned. There's that slow.
冰墙升起来吧
And then their speed slowly regenerates, as you can see up there.
冰墙升起来吧
Interesting. So a bit of a load up and no slow during the load up. But
好
we know how to keep
冰墙
people
升
still
起来吧
for something big like that, because we might slow them and they might not be able to get out in
冰
that
墙
time anyway.
升起来吧
Or we could also give them the combo we've been talking about here and get them stunned. And then while they're stunned,
升起来吧
put them in a time stop wall. And this is full terrain, yes.
升起来吧
Yep, yeah, can't walk by it. Not that you would ever do this, but you know,
冰墙升起来吧
for science. Because the enemy's freezing, and you know, what could be better than a 90-second cooldown in order to perhaps freeze a lane, literally, for 2.5 seconds. Probably not something you're gonna do. Fascinating, though. The Haymaker wall, the Haymaker combo. The Avalanche is way more interesting right now. I mean, just like Tassadar's Black Hole was when we first saw it. But that Ice Wall is fascinating, dynamic. I mean, we could even... What happens if I'm inside of it?
冰墙升
Oh, I
起
just
来
get
吧
pushed out. Okay.
If you're
I mean, if I was running away, I could be like, hey, I gotta run!
升起来吧
Big ability to use for escape, but, you know, everybody likes living.
升起来吧
Very interesting.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Well, let's do Avalanche for now, but we're still trying to discover what the sort of main combo here is in the talents. Flurry. While in her own Blizzard, Mei gains 50% increased attack speed, and Blizzard's cooldown refreshes 75% faster. If Mei is in her own Blizzard when it ends, gain these bonuses for 3 additional seconds. There's kind of a cool little, like, be in the business when it ends going on. Though this was just having to touch it. Ooh. Well, let's see what it looks like.
Freeze.
Because here's our attack. What is our attack speed? It's 1. Oh, that's easy to math then. And we're wailing, and for a good couple seconds. 3 seconds. So obviously we'd want to put a little bit of basic attack against stunned, rooted, or slowed enemies. Deal 33% more damage on top of that. So a little bit of a basic attack build. Developing.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
变强了。
Choose a
Cooling
talent.
servos. While Cryo Freeze is active, May's basic ability cooldowns recover 200% faster. Passive basic attack slow by 20% for 1.5. Oh, fascinating. They're making us choose between Flurry and a basic attack slow. And we could always activate our own basic attack slow for 33% more damage at level 1. Well, let's just spend everything and jump in and see 200%. It's okay. It's all right. I can see a big money combo happening. I mean, what would you do? What would you really do with this? You would put out a blind, you put out your fizz, you get them all popped in there, and then maybe you jump inside. And by the time that's done, you have something? You have something else? You have another... I don't have another Blizzard ready. We can reduce our own Skate Away cooldown. So we could have 2 Skate Aways, which we're currently sitting on. So,
Oh, what's
little ice.
over there?
Pop them in. Pop. And we dodge. And when it's done, we have another icing and possibly another Blizzard if we hang out a second. But looks like that'd be the main goal here. So the main goal of this talent seems to be, you know, day 1 interpretation here. But we can have a skate in, freeze, dodge, and then skate out. Particularly if we use our Blizzard. So Blizzard, skate, dodge, and then we'd have that because it's a 7-second reduction. Let's just do it one more time for formality's sake. And this is a flat 7-second reduction, reduced by 7 seconds. Cool, so it's not 2 7 seconds. All right, so Blizzard, skate, bop, frozen, dodging for some reason, and then we can do it again. So if you wanted to kill the front line while just, you know, like Li Ming and Hanzo are back there just poking away, but you want to kill someone up here, you hit them with the business, bop them back, dodge the poke from the assassins. Hopefully your team kills these guys, and then you bail. Could happen. Cost you 2 talents worth and your 40-second cryo freeze. But it could happen. Of course, you'd be getting poked, which means your shield's going to end early, which means that you're not going to get all of that 200% cooldown reduction time. And your basic attacks are better. Weird combo.
Choose a talent.
我变强
Choose a
了。
talent. Choose a
Polar
talent.
Vortex. Using an ability causes May to deal 40 damage a second to nearby enemies for 4 seconds. She's Arthas. Enemy heroes damaged by this effect also have their movement and attack speed slowed by 20%. Oh, so it's kind of a unique version of
If
imposing
you're sure.
presence. Yeah, look at that little tiny storm. It's actually kind of handsome with the little icicles on the ground there. And they're getting their attack speed slowed. So this again kind of makes sense for that control the front line, and while in the back line
Just focus on the science.
we're reducing their attack speed. So many situational choices, but one combo has
Choose a
become
talent.
apparent with that double
Choose a
slide
talent.
business.
Choose a talent.
Hey, look at
Choose a
me.
talent.
Fresh
Choose a
powder.
talent.
Snowblind gains an additional charge, and its range is increased by 33%. Okay, so we've got it kind of lined up on this guy here, 33%. It's pretty far. So we can blind the back line. Blind. And we get 2 charges. Do these charges overlap pretty well? Could I maintain a blind on Hanzo? There's the blind. Looks like he gets a little bit of wiggle room to get out an attack if he's timing well. Alright. You want lots of blinds. Or maybe you want lots of building disables? 6 seconds of building disable? Interesting. Now, one thing I'm curious about immediately. By the way, in this update, they made it so the towers don't have the AI for aggro anymore. So if I were to... Let's see if I can get an enemy hero out here. Because these guys will not have lane aggro on me. So if I attack Asmodan... I gotta clear this, though. The buildings won't shift over to me. But forts will. Forts, keeps, and cores still have those features. Yeah, our lane clear is not the best. After the stun, we could also isolate him back. And we don't dodge time or anything, so I would still be... Get out of here. What I'm curious about is can I use Slush Ball to reset tower aggro?
If you're sure.
So let's just burn through a wall real quick.
Can we just focus on the science?
Problem is I need a lane to actually pull this off. So let's get some minions. We're gonna upset Asmodan. We can heal ourselves using our abilities. We'll just snowball Asmodan until we're ready to use him. It'll be perfect. But for science, we must know. We're gonna get through this wall. Where is Asmodan? Asmodan! He's hanging out. Okay. It's probably the best for it since it'll be nice and big. Alright, here comes... And we need our talents too.
Choose a talent.
We're gonna need
Choose a
that
talent.
slush ball.
Choose a talent.
Let's get that
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
avalanche as well as we dismiss him and we get our wave going. Alright, get out here, Asmodan. Not ready for you yet. Oh yeah, here it comes. Okay. So tower's mad at me. We isolate it. It reset. Yes.
Take this.
Okay, it's mad at me. Maybe a reset. It resets. Crazy. Interesting. Okay. It was worth the effort. Wow. All right. Wild. With charges.
Choose a talent.
Let's get full healed.
Choose
All
a
right.
talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Black ice. Icing slow effect no longer decays over its duration. Alright. He's out of here. Alright, black ice. No longer decays. Icing deals 300% more damage to enemies very close to my... Okay, very close to me. Very close. Oh, yep, there's a little indicator as we slid there. So if you give him that little pop, just that little well-timed pop, you deal more damage. 390? 390. Let's see what my damage number here on the right side is going to be like for my basic engage as of right now. 1,400. Granted, it's level 16. So certainly no rag smash combo. That's not bad. And then what? How much does this deal? 412? So we could get up to 2,000. That's not too... Wow, we actually have quite a bit of health at this level. I remember the shield is from the snow, so I do not have a passive shield otherwise. Just damage, though. So far, level 16 isn't very exciting, but, you know, we've had some pretty cool picks so far.
Choose a talent. Choose
Unless,
a
of course, you want to do that building thing. That's pretty exciting.
Choose a talent.
Accumulation. Each time Mei stuns or slows an enemy hero, the damage she deals and healing she receives is increased by 1%, stacking up to 20 times. While at maximum stacks, Mei also gains 10 armor. Each time Mei stuns or slows an enemy hero, okay, the damage she deals and the healing she receives, got it, 1% increased. So up to 20% increased. While at max stacks, bam, 10 armor. And we currently have this Polar Vortex business going, so we should have a pretty good time even not hitting heroes, building that up since we're slowing them in an area around us. So that stack immediately comes to mind, and then we're getting bonus healing, which would be bonus healing. How long does this last? 8 seconds is pretty damn good. And all I have to do to refresh it is just hit somebody else up. You should be able to do that pretty easily.
Here goes nothing.
Over 8 seconds. Look at that time. That's plenty of time. Plus, if we have, like, auto-attack slow talents and stuff,
Oh, okay.
that's going to be easy to maintain. That's some enhanced survivability, plus the healing you receive. So we'll get more healing from our backup battery and our cryo freeze. Wait, nope. This is 35% max health. These are both max health. We're healing max health. Should be increased? That's a question for another time. Math people out there are like, Carl, don't you know? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let it go. Let it go for now. Let's get to 20. Let's get to 20. Either way, healing received. It should be bigger, right? No, we can actually test. We can do. Okay, we won't just leave that floating in the ether. We'll test it. We'll test it. Okay. Well, let's just take some damage. So, 86. 86, you know, it's an 86. All right, we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna maintain our slow by throwing a ball, but 103, yeah. So max health is increased by percent based. Healing increasing things. Cascade. What? Wait, let's do Cascade.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
While traveling, Avalanche constantly launches a volley of untalented snowballs ahead of itself. Reduce the cooldown of Avalanche by 25 seconds. Okay. Nothing wrong with a 40-second heroic.
Yes.
People use that for lane clear. Does this deal damage to heroes in its path? Doesn't deal any damage, only to the heroes. So people like Kira, Samuro, they sometimes use their 40-second cooldown sort of abilities or shorter to do lane clear, but I don't think this deals any lane damage. Well, the snowballs do. Probably not what you're... Actually, we'd have to cast it further back since the snowballs are thrown out in front. That's... Okay, the cooldown reduction is really nice. Why would I... Oh, slow them out in front, though. But why would I want to blind people that will be stunned when it's over? The blind duration did last for just a smidgen. You can see him still stunned, and then the blind lasts another moment, but I'm not sure those snowballs are useful. I mean, granted there was a bit of a situation with this guy happening. Let's say I want to isolate him. Not quite wide enough. This is really particular, but what if I want to isolate one player while blinding other people in the area, thereby effectively kind of increasing the width of my CC, but seems weird. There's got to be better things. More
Choose a
useful
talent.
things. Avalanche already seems
Choose a
pretty great.
talent.
Maybe it's just for the cooldown
Choose a
reduction.
talent.
Let's
Choose
grab
a
the other
talent.
heroic first.
Choose a talent.
Hey, look
Choose a
at me.
talent.
When Ice Wall expires, trapped enemy heroes take damage and have their armor reduced by 25. See, that I can see. Level 20, you know? They're trapped. They take some damage. Not a butt ton of damage, but now we're adding damage to it at least. Because it doesn't deal any damage otherwise, which means we can use it in tower range if we really want to. But now it deals damage and has 25 reduced armor, which will be massive for
what's over there?
follow-ups. I can see it. Yeah,
Choose
I
a
can see me
talent.
taking that. I can
Choose
see
a
it.
talent.
I'm getting good at this.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
The big one. Every 15 seconds, the next Snowblind you cast has really particular 67 increased area and 200% increased damage every 15 seconds. Oh, here it is. The big one. How do I know my big one is ready? I guess we'll wait for this cooldown. The big one. Nope, it ain't a big one. Let's reselect the
Choose a
talent. Maybe it's not
Choose
working
a
right when we had
Hey, look
Choose a
at me.
talent.
cooldowns on.
Choose a talent.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So slightly longer. Kind of a Deckard Ruby situation. Slightly longer. Maybe we could get 2 out. That's interesting. What's the damage like? 460. It's the same as our Shatter, actually. Well, why would I want to do more damage at 20 as a tank? Nothing wrong with more damage. Plus you blind the whole front line. Or the whole stacked back line. That's really
Choose a
unique, though.
talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Flash Freeze. When Mei takes fatal damage, she instantly gains Cryo Freeze. This effect has a 180-second cooldown. Okay,
I'm getting strange readings.
so we've kind of got a
Can we just
Phoenix
focus on the
situation
science?
going on here with some fatal damage. Just making sure this doesn't take my cooldown. It doesn't sound like it would. Here's the indicator for it. And my Cryo Freeze pops. It does take my cooldown.
You have been
That's a
slain.
surprise.
Everyone is
So then
calling
I
on
would
me.
be a right boob to assume that I shouldn't use that in another situation there. That'd be very silly of me.
If you're sure. Here goes nothing.
Now we're just making sure that I can use both. Cryo Freeze, normal style. Cryo Freeze, death styles. Works fine. But also resets the cooldown. So if we're thinking Johanna, right? Johanna has a similar ability in a sense that she, doesn't die, but gets a big ol' shield. But it's not the one you want to be doing because making a better engage at 20 is going to win the game, not just Johanna living, because why are the level 20s just targeting Johanna? We're a tank here after all. So in that case, Shatter, maybe the big one. And Cascade, it's just weird. The 40-second cooldown is not bad for, the Haymaker
you're
plays
sure.
we've been thinking about today. As for builds,
talent.
I mean, clearly
Choose a
there's
talent.
like an auto
Choose a
attacky kind of thing going on in here, where we're gonna be. Can I combo my auto attack build with my snowball build? Maybe
Choose a
would that be
talent.
interesting? Get some physical armor, reduce the damage of people, allied heroes, movement speed. Well, movement speed, like that speed metal. We could use movement speed to make more auto
Choose a
attacks.
talent.
Not sure which would be more auto attacky
Choose a
here, but
talent.
let's continue. Increased attack speed, but I'm having to choose between basic attack slowing for that constant. Flurry just sounds better, or more impactful, more controllable moments of aggression.
Choose a
Hey,
talent.
look at me.
Plus then I can alt cast it on top of myself. Increased range. We got that additional charge for the building disable, maybe. But we also have this pop, this accumulation damage increase. Could be really good with
Choose a
this.
talent.
And then we make our way into, like, like the big one, I guess. So the big one might push us towards fresh powder.
好，
It's really hard to tell how good abilities are when you're not in a game mode where all the enemies are running around in circles and doing things you don't expect.
Choose a talent.
I think easier
Choose
to
a
understand
talent.
would just be something like our Ice
Choose a
Storm
talent.
icing
Choose a
cooldown into things like maybe
Choose a
hibernation.
talent. Choose a talent.
Just a lot of control. Maybe we don't need that auto attack speed. And we don't need the slow. We
Choose
could
a
sit on
talent.
top of them, get more healing from our team while we're doing isolates on the enemy side anyway. Black Ice, possibly. That
Choose
could
a
be
talent.
good. And then Shatter for the big combo at the end, so we can
哦，OK。
do our business where we isolate back,
冰强
hit them with the
升起来吧
business. They get stuck with 20%. Wait, a question comes to
Choose a
mind.
talent. Choose a
If
talent.
I hang out
Choose a
in
talent.
my
Choose a talent.
cooling servos,
Choose a talent. Choose a
can
talent.
I weather
Choose a talent.
out the time
Choose a talent.
from a shatter? So ice wall. Let's say we do our combo. We're gonna get him in the ice wall. We're gonna knock him back. We're gonna stack him a little bit.
冰强
And now while they're in there, time stopped, and I have nothing to do, can I get my cooldowns reduced and be ready for another combo? It's a little complicated, but hey, what hero right now isn't complicated in this game? Let me know in the comments below what you think is going to be your main build. This is on PTR as of today, which should mean that this will be live next week, along with this weather anomaly thing. Thanks for watching, everybody.